Kirk Johnson here with another do-it-yourself video. In this video I'm going to show you how to change out the fork seals on the K1200LT. Every year is about the same. There's really not too much difference. It's really a very easy job to do, one that you can do yourself, save yourself a ton of money. They want like $350, $375 or something like that at the dealership to change out the fork seals. And seriously, it's about an hour job, hour and a half maybe, if you're really slow or you drink a lot of beer. Real easy one. You don't have to take off the body panels for this job. You do have to remove the fender. You got to remove the front tire and the brakes. You got to pull the whole thing off here to expose everything that's underneath here. But then we'll go through that. So I'm going to get it up on the center stand and then jack up the bike like right underneath the oil pan, put a jack underneath there, lift the bike so you can get the front tire off. So I'm going to do that. I've already demonstrated how to pull off the front tire in another video, so I'm not going to show that video again. I'm not going to go through those procedures again. If you don't know how to get your front tire off, then please check out one of my other videos and you'll be able to get that done too. So here we go. Now, in order to get the fork tubes off of the bike, it's really a very simple affair here. We obviously got the tire removed, calipers are hanging. Got to take off the bolt here to pull the this little joint off of here. So you want to get this away, anything that's away from the fork tubes or connected to it, you want to pull that off. So I'm going to pull this off. The other side has a very small hex head screw. Pull that one off. If you're going to pull off both of them, if you're only doing one side, obviously you just have to worry about the one side. You'll have to also pull off your the ABS sensor to get all that pulled away and just leave it hanging there. And really then when it comes down to it, one thing you got left is to pull off the couple of screws or the bolts that are holding it on right here onto this fork bridge. There's a couple of hex head screws, hex head bolts right up in here. Oh, anyway, pull off those and then this whole unit will just simply fall away. It'll slide off of there and you just pull it right off. So that's how you get the fork tube off. So I'm going to get after it here. As these bikes get older and older, you're going to have to start working on these things more and more. Things start drying out, rubber seals dry up, wiring goes bad. Even if the bike's hasn't been ridden or it's been garaged the whole time, things still go bad. It's just the way it is. That doesn't matter what bike you drive. Whether you have a BMW or a Honda or whatever, they all take service. You got to treat these things. I swear sometimes they're like an airplane. You can see it's already starting to come loose here. Kind of weird, there's really not much holding these things in. Okay, now I see the whole thing's loose. I'm just going to just pull away. Be able to pull that down, and you should hopefully have enough room to slide the thing right off of there. There it is. A little bit of oil coming out. Okay, now with that off of there, and get a look inside. Just see what you're dealing with here. You can see down inside there where the seal is. It's right underneath the dust boot. Then there's a couple plastic rings in there, and I'm going to change out the oil that's inside here. It's not enough anyway. I have no idea where to measure it to, so I'm going to go ahead and dump that out. I'm going to pour it into a container that I can measure it just to see how much was actually in there. So I'll show how to change out the seal now. I'm going to dump out the oil first. Pour that off into a container here. I think it has like maybe like half a quart or something in it. Oh, might have more than that. Anyway, there we go. Go. So pull the dust boot off. Just really inspect it good. If you want to change it out, you can. They're probably another 15 bucks or so from BMW, but this one doesn't have any tears in it or anything. I mean, I'm sure something got in there to wreck the seal. And down inside here, there's a little the little circlip that holds the seal part in. So you just get a small screwdriver or something and just get behind one of the edges and pull that up. See it pulling up there? There we go. Pull that up, don't lose it. Now you can use your fine seal tool, otherwise known as a tire iron, get it in there and pull the seal out. And since it's still kind of warm, it comes right out. See? Well, not a big deal. So there's our culprit. The one that's all supposedly messed up, but it was certainly leaking. I mean, I had oil all over my brake calipers and stuff. I kind of, you know, when at first glance you think it's more like a you think your brake caliper's leaking, but it's really just this. Just follow up the trail and you'll find it. So there's the seal, got all your numbers on it and things. I'm sure you can buy these, you know, getting this number off of here. I would bet that you don't have to go to BMW to buy these if you'd really like to save some money, because, you know, BMW, standing for Bring More Wallet, they want all the money for the smallest of parts. Looks like I had some water contamination. I could see some kind of some foamy garbage in there. And you got rings, some washers, and then there's the plastic sleeves down inside there. Anyway, so that's how you get it out. Next I'll show how to put the new ones back in. So as I was pouring off the oil, there's what was leftovers. You can kind of see the these kind of chunks that are in here all the way down to the bottom. So that's why it's a good idea to change out this oil every once in a while to do this job. And these things, this is like water that's kind of just gooped up in there. Doesn't really hurt anything. But, you know, you get enough of it in there, it could cause corrosion or something. So definitely it's a good idea to change this out. Time to put it back together. Got it all cleaned up. When you get these things off, it's a good time to get out the scrub brush and scrub all the years of crap that gets all over them. And got my new seals. I know they kind of look just like the old seals, but they're not. They're new. Thing about these seals, like I was mentioning a little bit earlier, you can definitely source these elsewhere besides the BMW dealership. They want like 15 bucks a piece for these things, or close to it. I found them on eBay, the same ones, same brand, everything, for about 9 bucks a set. So let me be the one that spent too much money on this. You go buy them elsewhere. So anyways, you take a little bit of oil here and just kind of lube this thing up. Put our washer back in it. Okay. I don't think there's no up or down side to these things. It just is. Anyway, so we're going to set the seal in there. Push it down. Now I'm going to use my highly specialized tool. It is a 36mm socket, just upside down inside there. It fits perfectly in this hole. And then I will hammer it down. And you just hammer it down until it hits the bottom. There it is. Now we take our ring and put that back in there. And don't forget your dust cap. Put a little bit, just a little bit of the lube on there to kind of help it go in there. Also, while you're thinking about it, take a drop of oil. You're probably gonna have a mess anyway, because you gotta fill this up. In fact, I'll do that before I put the dust cap on. 470 ml of your favorite formula. Can be BMW, can be fork oil. You probably get away with just using transmission fluid in here, just because this stuff serves no purpose in here other than just to lubricate that shaft that goes up and down in here. There's no spring, there's nothing about it. So we've got 470 ml here, and just pour it in, fill it up. Tasty. I measured them out when I pulled them out, and the one that was leaking had like 425 in it. The other side had like 460, so they were both a little bit low, although the other side wasn't leaking. Again, it's really not that crucial, so just set the dust boot back in place. There we go. Now this one's ready to go back into service, so I'm going to trade it out with the other one and get this one all done. Same thing again. Lube around it. Help ease the passage. We already have the rings already down in this one. Set this in. Special tool again. Pretty good. Just a few more for the good measure. Put the ring in there. Fill it up. So when you're out buying the fork oil, some of you guys are going to want to know what to use. I used the Bell Ray 10 weight. You can use either 5 or 10 weight. You could probably use 7.5 too. So it's really your choice. I think that if you drive in cold climates, maybe put the lighter weight in there. It's just not really that critical on this thing though. On your other bikes, where they got the spring in there, a little more critical. Okay, get the dust boot on there. that's it. It's all set to go back into service. Now we just reverse the procedures. Now there's going to be, I'll show it on the bike, I think, but you're going to get air trapped in here when you pass that fork tube through here. It's going to get air trapped in here, and a little trick you can use is to put something in between the seal, like maybe a piece of tough string, like wax coated string, like dental floss, or even a super thin, maybe a super thin aluminum wire, something that's not going to scratch it up when you pass that up there. Let it hang off of there, hang on to it, make sure you know it's not slipping inside there as you're going through. And once you get it all the way up in there, pull the string out, and it will have released enough air past the seal that you'll be able to manipulate it pretty easily. When installing these things, up along the insides of these things, you'll see a little vent hole that's way up inside there, and you need to make sure that's clear. And how you do that, how I do it, just take a flashlight, put it underneath, and then get underneath and look up in there, and you'll be able to see a little pinpoint of light sticking out of there, out of that little hole. Just identify the hole before you do that. Do it on both sides. I already did this. It looks good. It's all nice and clean. And then when we slide these up here, you want to make sure you get some your Loctite ready. So I'm going to put a little bit of Honda Lock green on here. It's got blue Loctite on there now. This green stuff works pretty good for that. Just take a couple drops of this, run it back inside there. Put a couple on here. Just enough to get it started. I'm going to take my little string here and set that in there. You just need to get it just over the seal. It doesn't need to go down inside where the fluid is or anything like that. You just want to create a little air gap for the seal. Realistically, it should just leak out anyway, but this will kind of give it something to leak against. I think my bike maybe slipped down overnight. Yep, it sure did. We'll jack that back up where it's supposed to be. Now we do this. That's it. And just make sure you don't lose your little string. Push it up to where it goes. You'll feel it starting to resist just as you get it right about to this point. It'll start to want to push back, and I think that's that air coming out of there. So I'm gonna leave that in there, that string in there for now, just while I get these started. So once you put the other side on here, I'm going to put the axle in there, just set it in place so that it lines everything up correctly before I torque these down. Because if you torque these down now, if you were to torque these down, individually, you could have the alignment off a little bit, and you really don't. That's not cool. So you'll have to take them back out or loosen them up or something in order to get the bolts all aligned. So I'll also take care of it now while you're after it. Putting the other side on, locate my screws. They're bolts. I always say everything wrong. Screws, bolts. Who knows? Anyway, Set those in place. A little string. This is already put some fluid on there. You can hear it. That little bit of air is leaking out of that little vent hole that's up there until you get it up into place. And once it crosses over that spot, that's when it starts getting resistance again. Okay, so I'm going to put the alignment, the pin in there. Get these things straightened up. There we go. So just fit the axle in. You don't have to bolt it in or anything right now. I can just you're just using it for alignment here to keep everything straight when you torque these things down. Okay, I'm just going to wiggle this to make sure this is all good here before so there's no binding or anything. I'll be able to pull that thing out, no problem. Good. And then I'm going to torque the slider tubes to the bridge here at 21 Newton meters. There we go. At least I hope so. Easier than it looks. Alright. I think I need a different tool. Anyways, hopefully you'll be able to figure this out. This is again 21 Newton meters, and then you're gonna hook up your brakes here again, hook everything back up where it was. Don't forget to put on your little sensor here, your ABS sensor, don't forget to put that little metal spacer that goes around here. That's very important that you do not forget that. Otherwise your ABS lights are not gonna, they're gonna be on and your ABS won't function correctly. So anyway, that's how you change out these fork seals. It's a very easy thing. It's just parts, and it doesn't really cost a whole lot of money. Thankfully, it's one of the easier things on a BMW to do, at least this BMW. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you check out our other videos. There's a lot on there, especially revolving around this K1200LT. And there's a growing number of ones on other models, the RT and other newer models. So please check those out, and if you would like to consider a donation to the club, please do so, or check out our club at IllinoisBMWRiders.com. Thank you for watching.